And then you keep blaming yourself. Well, maybe if I would have, or if I could have been better, if I was a better partner, or if I showed up differently from my mother, she wouldn't have abandoned me, turned her back on me. I just feel guilty that maybe if I called her more or chased the unavailable mother more, she would have been a better mother. No, you're gaslighting yourself. Shh. Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon. Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brannne Davis-Gantt. Today I'm pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets. We'll hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know, those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave, or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing. Join me each week as we take a deep dive into one subject matter, exploring the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. Get ready for a more focused, more revealing journey of the human experience. This is Secret Life, and I'm excited for you to join the ride. Today, we are talking about, dun dun dun, stop fucking gaslighting yourself. People, stop gaslighting yourself. There is self-gaslighting going on and it is running fucking rampant. I am hearing people left and right gaslighting yourself. And here are the signs that are happening all the time. You dismiss your feelings. You don't even let yourself have a fucking feeling. You ignore your intuition. You see something. You even feel something. Somebody feels off. You just ignore it. I don't feel it. I don't see it. Oh, I look the other way. I put my rose-colored glasses on. I fucking hate those rose-colored glasses. I want to break them. You think that something is wrong with you. You turn and point the finger at yourself. You doubt your own capabilities all the time. Oh my God, it's so fucking annoying to listen to somebody doubt their own capabilities with something. They gaslight themselves. They frequently compare themselves to other people. They make excuses for other people's bad behaviors. This is a big one. In couples, I hear other people's bad behaviors. They blame themselves. They think they are being too sensitive. You are not too sensitive. Nobody is too sensitive, FYI. People are allowed their feelings. Nobody is too sensitive. I hate that. Yes, they love to say addicts are highly sensitive people. No, you just have empathy and compassion and you feel a lot. You second guess your memory. Oh, this was a classic one. I'm going to actually use something going on right now. I'm dealing with a family and there's an alcoholic and he came home and all of a sudden there's a magic bottle that just magically arrived in this house after I had the family get rid of all the alcohol. And she was like, maybe I forgot that bottle. Maybe I put it there. Maybe I didn't. And it's like she's second guessing her memory. But the bottle just appeared when the recovering addict came back from rehab. This magical bottle just appeared after I had them clean out the house. And she's literally going, maybe it was there. Maybe I did put it there. And I'm like, you fucking cleaned out the house of alcohol. What are you talking about? And she's been gaslit for so long and gaslit herself that she legit thinks she might have put the alcohol there. It's just insane how when you gaslight yourself for so long, you can convince yourself of insanity. You feel guilty about asking people for help. When you finally go get help, especially from a therapist or someone, you feel guilty about it. You think you don't deserve it. And then you keep blaming yourself. Well, maybe if I would have, or if I could have been better, if I was a better partner, or if I showed up differently from my mother, she wouldn't have abandoned me, turned her back on me. I just feel guilty that maybe if I called her more or chased the unavailable mother more, she would have been a better mother. No, you're gaslighting yourself. You are gaslighting yourself. And why do people gaslight themselves? Well, number one, they have a history of psychological abuse. Whoever has been in their life has psychologically abused them for so fucking long that they're used to it. They almost have to gaslight themselves to survive the environment they usually grew up in. So if they marry someone that they have to gaslight themselves, their parent probably was psychologically abusive to them. They have a really low self-esteem. Even if they look like they feel good about themselves, deep down they have a low self-esteem. There's a negative self-talk. So even if they know the truth, something in them goes, yeah, no, I'm not completely right. And I'm stupid. Or no, I shouldn't feel that way. Or blah, blah, blah. I'm not good enough. Or they know more than me. Or maybe they are right. Even if all the evidence points to them being right, they will negative talk themselves out of it. They are just the victims of gaslighting from a partner or a parent normally, or even their own child can gaslight them. You know, a lot of parents of addict children are gaslit by their children so badly that I have to literally go, your children are lying. They're manipulating you. Do not let them gaslight you. Is this true? Did they do this in the past? Then that's probably happening again. They are addicts. Okay, here's a big one. Culturally and society beliefs about trauma and abuse. You culturally, sometimes culture thinks it's okay for a gender to be abused, that a gender can be, trauma can be done to them, and it's okay. And that's why they're allowed to have and be gaslit, or children are allowed to be gaslit because culturally, society doesn't think a lot about children. They shouldn't have a voice. They shouldn't have an opinion. So trauma is allowed to happen or abuse is allowed to happen. They are limited in their understanding of something, or they are re-victimized for coming forward. So they are gaslit by even the system. So if something happens to you and then you are a whistleblower and then you're re-victimized by the system. So you then gaslit yourself even coming forward. And it's just the most abusive form to do to yourself, to allow yourself to fuck with your own mind and to tell yourself you are wrong, that your intuition and your feelings is wrong. That is the most self-abusive thing I have had to break, the pattern I have had to break in my work is watching someone self-gaslight. And there's so many signs. So I want you to think about yourself. Do I gaslight myself? How do I gaslight myself? Where are the ways I gaslight myself? Do I gaslight myself in my upbringing? Do I gaslight myself in my relationship? Do I gaslight myself in my self-worth, my self-image? Where do I gaslight myself? Because almost everybody does it in some form. In a friendship, do I not look at the signs and think, is this person meant to be in my life? Should I let them go? Or am I holding on to them? Am I gaslighting myself about this relationship? So look at all the areas of your life. So here are some signs. You constantly doubt yourself over and over again. You second guess yourself. You question your judgment, decisions, big or small. You're constantly doubting yourself. You have trouble trusting your memories. And don't tell me, I hear the older generation be like, well, I'm losing my memory. No, no, that's not it. That's not it. You have trouble trusting your memory and thinking your memory is unreliable. And I don't care what age you are. I do not care. I do not want to hear a 72-year-old say, I can't remember my memory. you can still remember a feeling in your body or an emotion of how you felt. So if I'm working with a 72-year-old, I say, well, how do you feel in your body when I'm talking about this memory with your mother or your father or your childhood or your own kids or your ex or whoever? You can trust a feeling in your body. You minimize, you dismiss, you deny your experience and your feelings, saying, I'm overreacting, I'm just being too sensitive. No, you can't dismiss yourself. You can't dismiss your feelings. Those are not allowed anymore. So if you find yourself constantly saying, oh, I just in that moment was just being a little too sensitive when he said blah, 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 or she said blah, blah, blah. Or I was just being, my boundary was just a little harsh. I should just be, he's going through a lot. He has a lot of trauma, or, he's really struggling with his addiction. No, your boundary is just important. You and your experience is just as important as anybody else's. And holding that is more important than their experience. Because making an excuse or justifying other people's abusive behaviors is not okay. Because saying they didn't mean it, she didn't mean it, they're just having a bad day, or they're going through a lot, or they were even in their own therapy and a lot has come up for them. No, nothing is excusable. You cannot gaslight yourself with someone else's bad day. They're allowed to have your bad day. I even say that to my 6-year-old son. You are allowed to have your bad day. You're allowed to have your bad mood, but you're not allowed to put it on me. To my 6-year-old. And I'm allowed to have my bad day, but I'm not allowed to put it on him. So I'm not going to allow my 6-year-old to gaslight me. You shouldn't allow an adult person in your life to gaslight you. Okay. You downplay or dismiss your own trauma. Oh my gosh, this is a huge one. I have so many times I have to say to someone with a sex addiction or relationship trauma, how many times I have to say, do you understand what you've been through? Just this little portion of what you went through in your child, just this one teeny moment that happened with dot, dot, dot. Or your parents didn't watch you with this situation. They put you on a bus by yourself at 10 years old across 3 states. Just this situation is abandonment, rejection, childhood neglect. Like just this one little moment is trauma, real trauma, and it's bad. It's really bad. And just that moment, when they dismiss that, it's gaslighting. It's self-gaslighting. And that takes you away from really connecting to your inner child, your child self that wasn't protected, that then disconnects you from self. And then lastly, you often find a way to blame yourself if and when something bad happens. So say something catastrophic happens. For me, my brand new car, I parked it and parking on the phone with the client. And then just this production truck just backs into, and I honk, he doesn't stop and backs into my truck, my brand new car, and just ruins the front of my brand new car. And I legit was like, oh, life on life's terms. Totally pissed, but I didn't like get angry, didn't freak out. And a part of me wanted to then gaslight myself for 1 second. Like, I knew I shouldn't have parked here. I saw that truck. There was a parking spot. I saw somebody pull up that was closer to the restaurant that I was meeting my other client. I should have parked there. I almost parked there. I saw the person who was about to pull away, but then this part, I should have parked. I was like, no. Life on life's terms. You parked here. The truck backed into you. It's not the end of the world. You'll get it fixed. Like, chill. Life on life's terms. So, in that moment, I wanted to blame myself for this guy that did not look, he didn't have a back mirror camera or whatever. And he made a mistake and my car got backed into, and it is what it is. But a part of me wanted to gaslight myself because I wanted to somehow make myself feel bad that it was my fault he backed into me. Do you see the insanity of that? Like, we try to gaslight ourselves over the littlest things. So we can understand why certain shit happens. And sometimes shit just happens. So how do we heal? How do we get through it? I mean, how do we stop it? There's a bunch of different ways. So here's how. We practice self-compassion, right? Like I did. Like, it just happens. Things just happen. Be gentle with you. Are not to blame. You know when you got to leave the relationship, when it's just done. I don't want to participate in this drama anymore. I don't want to participate in this person making me feel bad and then me making excuses for this person. Then we remind ourselves of our truth. This is my feeling. I'm allowed to feel this way. I'm allowed my emotions and my feelings. Then I tell myself, stop the insanity. Tell myself to stop and ask myself, would I ever say this to my friend? Would I ever say this to someone I care about? Most of the time, no. So I then become more self-aware and I become curious. Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to blame myself right now? Why do I want to make excuses for this person? Am I trying to hold on to them? Am I trying to still have them in my life? Am I trying to blame myself because I'm looking for a reason of why something happened? Am I trying to like make an excuse for an addict so it doesn't hurt so bad? And then lastly, I always try to find positive people in my life. If someone brings drama in my life, I get them out. Obviously, I can't with clients because I'm trying to help them, but people in my life, my friends, I don't have drama. And then I validate my own experience. I'm like, this is my experience. And then if somebody triggers me, I go, where do I need to heal? They just triggered me. I need to heal. Should I be upset by this? Did they mean it? Yes. If so, get them out. I deserve to be happy. I don't need to keep going in this toxic pattern. And this doesn't define me anymore, this behavior. And I just really have to recognize when it's happening and try to identify those triggers immediately. That's reminding me of this when this happened. And that my dad used to do that. And I'm not going to allow that to happen anymore. And there's the trigger again. And then I journal. I did that a lot at the beginning. I don't have to do that now. And I go, just gaslit. I shouldn't have that feeling. And I just really then lastly reach out to support people that have done the work that I've done, the inner child, the shadow work. They're in recovery for a long period of time that really gone to the depths of themselves. So we can have a conversation based in recovery, based in trauma healing, based in inner child work, where I don't allow my bullshit to run my life anymore. And I don't allow other people's shit to gaslight myself because I grew up in trauma and drama and toxicity and unbalanced relationships. And I don't want to live in that life anymore. And I don't think you do too if you're listening to my podcast because it's all about healing. So you need to practice treating yourself better. And treating yourself better is not talking shit to yourself and allowing yourself to not fucking gaslight yourself. Because gaslighting is the most abusive thing you can do. So thank you for listening to Secret Life. I hope you enjoy this episode. Let me know what worked for you or if you want me to talk about something else. Send it to secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time. Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.